You guys. I literally had to stop everything I was doing to bring you this update because my heart is still racing. Just hours ago, Wang and Shen Yue were spotted together at a hospital in Shanghai, and the photos are already all over social media. Before we dive into the details, make sure you hit that subscribe button because you are not going to want to miss the follow-ups to this. Trust me, this story is already blowing up in ways none of us saw coming. So here's what went down. Around mid-morning today, a few eagle-eyed fans were hanging around outside a private clinic in Shanghai, the kind that celebrities often go to when they want to avoid the chaos of public hospitals. According to eyewitnesses, a sleek black SUV pulled up quietly to the side entrance, and out stepped none other than Wang, wearing a black hoodie, face mask, and cap pulled low. Right behind him? Shen Yue. Dressed simply in a loose beige sweater, jeans, and sneakers, but unmistakable. Now, if you're like me, you probably just sat up straight reading that. Dylan and Shen Yue? Together? At a hospital? Naturally, the questions started flooding in. Was one of them sick? Was it a routine checkup? Or, and I know this is where a lot of you went immediately, is this related to those marriage and baby rumors that have been swirling around for months now? The first thing fans noticed in the leaked photos is how close they were walking. Even though they both had masks on, you can clearly see Dylan's hand hovering protectively at Shen Yue's back as they made their way inside. That's not the kind of body language you share with just a co-star you haven't worked with in years. That's the kind of quiet, intimate care you'd give to someone very important to you. Some people on Weibo are already speculating that Shen Yue might be the one with the appointment, and Dylan was there to support her. Others are pointing out that Dylan's recent schedule has been unusually light, with several public appearances either cancelled or postponed at the last minute. Could it be that he's the one recovering from something, and Shen Yue is the one looking after him? And then there's the third theory, the one that's got the fandom buzzing louder than a swarm of bees. That maybe, just maybe, they were there for something related to a pregnancy checkup. Now, I'm not saying that's confirmed, because obviously we don't know. But when you add this sighting to the recent rumors, the wedding registry leak, the agency's carefully worded statement about Dylan's private life, the way Shen Yue has been keeping a very low profile lately, it starts to paint a picture that's hard to ignore. Personally, I can't stop replaying one detail from the eyewitness account. One fan said that after they walked in, Dylan actually turned around to make sure no one was following them and gave Shen Yue this little reassuring nod. Like, don't worry, I've got you. That's the kind of moment you can't fake. And honestly, it's the kind of moment that makes my heart melt. The internet reaction has been pure chaos in the best way possible. Within minutes of the first blurry photo hitting Weibo, the hashtag Dylan Shen Yue Hospital was trending in the top 3. People were zooming in on every pixel, analyzing their outfits, even matching Dylan's sneakers to ones he wore in another candid just a week ago. Fans are comparing this to the time a famous K-drama couple was spotted at a prenatal clinic before they announced their first child, and let's just say, the parallels aren't going unnoticed. But here's what's fascinating, this isn't the first time Dylan and Shen Yue have been linked to hospital sightings. About a year ago, there was that unconfirmed story about them being spotted at a rehab facility in Beijing after Dylan injured his arm during filming. At the time, most people brushed it off as a coincidence or a friendly visit. But now? It feels like this hospital connection is part of a bigger pattern, one that shows they've been there for each other through a lot more than we've realized. Let me take you back for a second. Their bond goes way beyond Meteor Garden. In almost every behind-the-scenes clip from that time, you can see the foundation of trust they built. Shen Yue is naturally bubbly but also a bit reserved when she's uncomfortable, while Dylan is more playful but fiercely protective. It's like their personalities fit together in this perfect, balanced way. And if you've ever watched them interact off-camera, the inside jokes, the lingering glances, the way Dylan subtly shields her from overly pushy fans, you know this isn't just PR chemistry. So imagine that bond years later, when they've both gone through the pressures of fame, the stress of constant rumors, and the loneliness that comes with being in the spotlight. If you ask me, it's no surprise they'd lean on each other during something as personal as a hospital visit. Another angle people are talking about is whether this sighting could signal something about Dylan's career moves. Some fans think he might be taking a break to focus on his personal life. There's been talk about him potentially stepping back from filming for the rest of the year, and if that's true, this hospital visit could be part of that reason. Of course, it's all speculation, but when you're a fan, you can't help but connect the dots. The thing that makes me so emotional about all of this is how much they've managed to protect their connection despite living under a microscope. In this industry, it's so easy for relationships to get exposed and torn apart before they even have a chance to grow. But Dylan and Shen Yue? They've played the long game. They've kept things low-key, shared just enough to keep the fans guessing, but never so much that it jeopardized what they have. And this hospital sighting feels like one of those rare, unfiltered moments where the real story peeks through. I have to admit, when I first saw the headline pop up on my feed, my initial reaction was worry. Hospitals are never a fun reason to be spotted, and I hoped neither of them was seriously ill. But then I saw the photos, the way they moved together, the calmness in their body language, and I felt this weird sense of reassurance. Whatever's going on, it seems like they're handling it together. That's the thing about seeing a couple you admire in a moment like this. It's not about the glamour, the red carpets, or the magazine covers. It's about the quiet, behind-the-scenes support that nobody really talks about. And honestly, those are the moments that tell you everything you need to know. Of course, with a story this big, the media is going to be on high alert. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a statement from one of their agencies in the next few days. And depending on how they word it, we might either get more confirmation of the rumors, or a very carefully crafted "nothing to see here" message. But if history has taught us anything, it's that their silences often speak louder than any official comment. For now, all we can do is wait, and keep our eyes peeled for more sightings. Maybe this was just a quick checkup. Maybe it was something bigger. But one thing's for sure, Dylan Wang and Shen Yue being spotted together in such a personal setting is no small thing. It's another piece of the puzzle in a love story that's been quietly unfolding for years. And if you've been following along since day one, you know just how special that is. These two have weathered rumors, career changes, and the kind of public scrutiny that would break most people. Yet here they are, still choosing to show up for each other when it matters most. And that's why we keep watching, why we keep rooting for them, and why moments like this hit us right in the heart. So, my dear friends, keep your notifications on because I have a feeling this is only the beginning of whatever chapter they're writing right now. And you can bet I'll be right here, bringing you every update, every photo, and every little clue we can find. Until then, let's just take a moment to appreciate what we saw today, not just two celebrities at a hospital, but two people who clearly mean a lot to each other, walking side by side through whatever life is throwing at them. And honestly, that's the kind of real-life drama that no script could ever beat.